Fantasy XIV has a problem. If you are an active player or following the social media surrounding Final Fantasy XIV, you probably heard of people mentioning a healer strike going on in-game right now. When I first heard of it, I didn't think it would actually be this huge of a deal. Maybe just a few posts in the forums, maybe 10 or 20 players participating, a few spicy memes, but then this happened. Was so wrong. Yeah, it became a huge talking point in the Final Fantasy XIV communities in the past week. It grew to the point of even reaching the gaming related news. I just want to start by saying I'm deeply impressed by the internet's ability of taking an actual respectable complaint and turning it into drama. Final Fantasy XIV creators are talking about it, healers are angry, people are angry at healers for being angry, some healers are angry at other healers for not being angry enough. I'm confused and also angry, so it's a hot mess. I'm a healer main myself, so I do have a good understanding of why this healer strike is happening in the first place. I definitely agree the healer gameplay can use some improvements to make it more engaging and fun to play. Let's be real, playing a healer in a casual content is a bit of a slog unless your party members are new and failing every single mechanic. It's partly because how they design these casual fights and partly because the self-sustain and healing abilities given to other roles. I do want some changes to make the gameplay more fun too. It's just that I don't think this healer strike will achieve any of these changes people want. It is getting attention, I guess that's a good thing to be heard. It's unfortunately more unserious kind of attention because of a gamification of an actual problem. It does have some great points, but it also has some flaws too. I'll go more in detail and explain why I think like this, but let me briefly explain the healer strike to those who are unfamiliar first. Final Fantasy XIV healer strike started with a post in the official forums. It surprisingly got really popular really fast. It's got pages and pages of comments in the forums right now. The players who participate in the strike plan to not play any healer jobs in dungeons, raids, trials, any group content really, starting from the release of Dawntrail. But why is this happening? Why are the healers dissatisfied in the first place? Some media outlets make it seem like it's only because a streamer cleared one of the new Dawntrail dungeons without any healers. Yes, technically that was a bit of a tipping point for some people. Xenosis Vax's no healer dungeon clear video is technically what fueled this healer strike, but it's not the only reason why people are participating in it right now. It's a sentiment that's been building up for years. There's a big group of healer players who are not happy with how their role feels these days. Some of the most common complaints are self-sustain and healing abilities given to other roles, oversimplification of the DPS rotation, and lack of engaging content outside of most difficult duties like Savage and Ultimate. The original healer strike post reminds the players this is not to disrupt the gameplay on Final Fantasy XIV, it's to send a collective message and let the producers know people are not happy with the state of healers. Overall, I agree with the goal of this healer strike. I think if you are dissatisfied with the gameplay, the best way to make things better is to talk about it. In a constructive way, of course. The producers of this game have a long history of actually listening to the player base. And even they admitted the difficulty of the game is becoming a bit of a problem. It's too easy, it's too casual sometimes. They mentioned they will be making some changes, some adjustments in Dawntrail. So I kinda understand that seeing a party with no healers clearing a Dawntrail dungeon might feel like a slap on the face. But here's the thing, we can't judge the entire expansion and the changes they're making just by looking at one video. We also have to remember the people who cleared that Dawntrail dungeon without healers were actual high-end raiders. So they eat, sleep and play this game. They know what they are doing. You can't expect an average Final Fantasy XIV player to play like that. This is also not something special to healers. You can clear most of the leveling dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV without any role. Your role doesn't matter. Those dungeons are made to be cleared easily so people can continue with their story. I cleared an Endwalker dungeon with 4 healers only, no echo, minimum eye level on my last livestream. It's really not a challenge. It's not made to be challenging. Is it optimal? No. Is it clear? clearable? Heck yeah. I kind of understand why they designed the leveling dungeons like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kept the dungeons easy to clear in Dawntrail too. Final Fantasy XIV has a large casual following. We really shouldn't overestimate the average skill level in this game. It is clear, however, the game is lacking some mid-core content, and the homogenization of not only the jobs but the roles is making certain roles really unfun to play. Playing an ultimate and playing an average dungeon almost feels like you're playing a different game. I definitely enjoy healing more when I'm healing an ultimate or an extreme trial, for example. That's not an excuse to ignore more casual players, considering almost 90% of the player base don't even touch ultimates in the first place. Playing a healer doesn't feel rewarding when the content is so dumbed down to the point of healing is not even necessary. The DPS kit healers get are kind of bland. It boils down to spamming the same few DPS buttons the entire duty. If your tank and your party members know what they are doing, you won't really need healing at all. So these complaints are coming from a valid place. It's not just a few people being angry for no reason. Now, you're probably thinking, AV, you sound like you agree with all the points people are making with this healer strike. Yes, I do. I'm not blind to these issues. I do think the healer gameplay can be improved and be made more fun. What I don't agree with about this healer strike is the execution. The healer strike will officially start on July 2nd, right after Dawntrail launch. That means people who will participate on this strike will go on a strike blindly, judging only by a singular Dawntrail dungeon clear. You are probably starting to see why I don't think this is the right way to approach this healer issue. The goal of this healer strike is to send a message to improve the state of healers in Final Fantasy XIV. It is meant to be something positive and constructive. The way some people are treating this healer strike is contradicting the goals. How are we supposed to share our constructive criticism unless we actually play through the new expansion as healers and form an opinion first? The healer strike doesn't come from a malicious place, but it does unintentionally encourage players to hop into this angry echo chamber. Healers are getting massive changes in Dawntrail, especially Astrologian will almost play like a different job with a new card system. The producers of the game did promise a more engaging gameplay in Dawntrail. While the dungeon clear without healers might seem bad, that's not the only content we're gonna be getting this expansion. We'll have multiple dungeons, trials, normal raids, alliance raids, extremes, and savage. It just feels really disingenuous to me to complain about the state of healers before they even launch the new expansion. I believe we should at least play through the new content with these new changes coming to the healers and decide what we want to do after that. If we really want improvements to the gameplay, we should at least play the game, form our opinions first, so our criticism is constructive, so our feedback is valuable. Right now, it is making some noise. Yes, it's getting attention, but is all this noise gonna be helpful without the feedback? I don't think so. Without the feedback, people will treat this like a baseless drama, which is not something I want. I'm a healer main too. I do want some improvements to healers too. I don't want the producers to see this as just the players being silly. I want them to see the actual problems, and I want to see improvements. Turning this into a drama or a game won't achieve that. You're not directly hurting Square Enix by not playing healers. At the end, you are still paying your sub. What I'm trying to say is, please give healers at least a try in Dawntrail. Don't just judge the entire expansion because of a single dungeon clear. If you don't like the state of healing in Dawntrail too, then yes, you don't have to play healers at all. But if you are really concerned about the state of healers, if you want things to get better and more fun, you will need to share your feedback. Without valuable feedback, you can strike as much as you want. I don't think that will be any positive change to the game. I really don't want the healer issues to turn into a lullaby chair drama. I want people to take this seriously. I just wanted to share my feelings about this healer strike, and I'm curious too, actually. What do you guys think? Do you think this healer strike will actually reach the producers? Do you think it's gonna be helpful? Are you participating or against the strike yourself? I'm curious about what you guys think, so comment down below. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And with a special thanks to my sweet channel members, thank you so much. I know Final Fantasy XIV has its issues. It's not a perfect game, but I'm enjoying it. I'm still here for a reason. I love this game. I want it to be better. And I'm so excited to see what's waiting for us in Dawntrail. Again, thank you so much for watching. As always, I love your guts, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay cozy!